In the polished glass towers of corporate America, not every battle is fought in boardrooms. Some are silent wars, invisible, until you're the one standing in the crosshairs. He came dressed in success, a sharp suit, a confident smile, a lifetime of hard work behind him. But from the moment he stepped into the lobby, something else followed him. Something that had nothing to do with his talent, and everything to do with the color of his skin. This is not just a story. It's the untold story of countless professionals. Stories hidden in whispers, erased in meetings, buried behind polished smiles. Today, you'll hear what really happens when racial profiling walks into the office. The office lobby smelled of ambition, fresh coffee, polished marble floors, the hum of success. Marcus walked in, his suit sharp, his shoes shining, his smile ready for new beginnings. He had earned this moment, financial analyst at one of the nation's top firms. But as he approached the receptionist, her smile stiffened, her eyes narrowed, scanning him from head to toe. "Can I help you?" She asked as if he had wandered into the wrong building. Marcus lifted his ID badge with steady hands. "This is my first day," he said. She nodded slowly, but her gaze lingered, heavy and doubtful. A chill swept through Marcus' chest. His career hadn't even begun, and already he was being measured by something other than his talent. Later that week, Marcus presented his ideas. It was bold, data-driven, carefully prepared. His words filled the boardroom with possibility. Everywhere was silent. No one spoke. His colleagues shuffled their papers, eyes darting everywhere. Then his manager stepped forward and said, "What if we tried this?" And he repeated Marcus's exact words, word for word. There was applause, praise, nods of approval. Marcus sat frozen. His eyes widened. His chest tightened. Then he chuckled and said, "Didn't I just say that?" But no one looked at him. No one gave him credit. In a single moment, Marcus' contribution was stolen, and his voice made invisible. The lunchroom buzzed with laughter. A co-worker cracked a joke about dangerous neighborhoods, and the table erupted. Marcus forced a smile, though the pit inside his stomach grew heavier. Then came the question.
So, Marcus, you ever run into that stuff where you're from?
Every fork paused. Every eye turned. The room waited. Everyone was looking at Marcus, waiting for him to speak. Huh. Marcus sighed. His throat tightened. If he challenged them, they'd say he's too sensitive. If he laughed, he'd betray himself. Instead, he forced out a quiet chuckle. Yeah, sometimes that happens. They nodded, satisfied. The laughter continued, built on the weight of a stereotype. It was already late. The office empty. Marcus stepped into the elevator beside a senior executive. No words were exchanged, but the executive's body spoke volumes. He clutched his briefcase tighter. His eyes never left Marcus. The elevator creaked downwards, each floor dragging like a judgment. When the doors opened, the executive rushed out without a word. The silence said it all. Suspicion followed Marcus, even in moments of stillness. And Marcus thought, how am I supposed to work in this place with all this going on around me? How? Months passed. Marcus worked harder, smarter, and longer. Clients praised him. His projects flourished. Yet, his performance review read, "Not a team player. Needs to improve communication." Communication? Marcus was shocked when he saw that. He had to reread it again. His jaw clenched. Communication? He had delivered the largest presentation of the year. Clients had applauded his clarity. This wasn't feedback. It was bias, written in ink. Bias that could stall a career. Marcus thought, what would I do now? In the hallways, whispers followed. His name thrilled like coded words. Aggressive, intimidating, not polished. Marcus wasn't angry. He was efficient. He wasn't aggressive. He was assertive. But in their eyes, assertiveness looked different on him. The whispers weren't harmless. They were knives, sharpening the reputation he never asked for. One evening, Marcus entered the break room. Two co-workers were laughing at a doctored photo. His face, exaggerated, twisted into a cruel caricature. Marcus' blood boiled. His fingers clenched. Rage screamed within him. Say something. Demand respect. But another voice whispered in his ears, if you react, they'll call you emotional. If you shout, they'll say you proved their point. So, instead, Marcus remained silent. The hair thickened with silence. His dignity wrestled with survival. The next morning, a quiet voice broke the storm. A young white lady, Emma, a colleague of his, approached him.
Marcus, I've seen it. The jokes, the way they dismiss you. It's not right.
Marcus studied her carefully. Was this another trap? But her eyes were steady. She handed him a folder. Inside, emails, notes, proof, evidence she had collected.
Marcus, take these papers, evidence I collected. If you file a complaint, I'll stand with you.
If you file a complaint, I'll stand with you, Emma said. For the first time in months, Marcus felt the weight lift, but just slightly. Hope had slipped through the cracks. Marcus stood outside Human Resources office, folder in hand, his palms slick with sweat. He knew the risks. Retaliation, isolation, being labeled the problem. But for him, silence was a heavier prison. So, with a deep breath, he pushed the door open. The fight for justice has just begun. The days that followed were brutal. Colleagues avoided his desk. His manager stopped including him on key emails. Emma received cold glares for her support. HR's questions felt rehearsed, designed not to expose truth, but to protect the company. Doubt crept in. Had he made a mistake? Oh, the drama has just begun. Then, an unexpected shift. A client email landed in the inbox of every executive. Marcus had saved a multi-million-dollar deal. His leadership, his brilliance, his performance, undeniable. Now the firm had a choice: bury the bias or risk a scandal if Marcus took this public. A closed-door meeting. Marcus sat across from his manager and HR. Marcus, we recognize there have been concerns. HR began carefully. Marcus leaned forward, calm but steady. This isn't just a concern. This is discrimination, and I won't be silent anymore. The words dropped like a gavel. Silence filled the room. Weeks later, changes rolled out. Diversity training, anonymous reporting systems, a polished statement on equality. But Marcus knew policies were just papers. Culture was harder to change. As he walked the halls, eyes met his differently now. Respect or fear? He just couldn't tell. Late at night, Marcus gazed out at the city lights. He thought about those who came before him, whose voices were silenced, whose dreams were cut short. His journey wasn't just his. It was America's story of progress, shadowed by prejudice, of voices fighting to be heard. He whispered, "If I endure, maybe others will see they can too." The story doesn't end with victory. Marcus still carries the scars. Discrimination hasn't vanished. It hides in jokes, in whispers, in quiet dismissals. But his courage cracked the silence. And now, the question lingers. What role will you play in this story? Because the fight isn't over. Not in America. Not in our workplaces.